Take the floor.
Are you good?
All right, today is Wednesday, September the 11th. It is now 11:12 a.m. and we will do roll call for hazardous tree trim and removal RFP. And we'll start the roll call. We have Alan Jankowski, Commissioner of Forestry,
Present.
Jason O'Malley from Forestry,
Present.
and Yusuf Danshir, did I say that correct? From the Board of Aldermen.
Present.
Did everybody receive the conflict of interest statements? Because I only got Jason's.
Oh, I apologize. Can I get that over to you today?
Yes.
Okay.
Has to be before we vote.
Oh, it has to be before we vote?
Yes.
Okay. Let me
I have
take care of
my
it.
right now trying to. Oh,
I can stand for you.
Thank you, Jason.
he's fancy with his phone here. My computer kept logging out and I just didn't get this sent over. Yusuf, can you send that over?
He's working on it now. He's
Oh,
just
he is? Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm taking care of it right now and I'll email you a copy.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we have that underway. Did everybody receive the rating forms as well?
Yes.
Okay.
We have them here.
All right. Did everybody receive all, I believe it was 5 proposals?
Correct.
Yes.
Doretta, I have the proposals. Were the scoring sheets, were those emailed to us or
They
were
were.
those okay?
Let me
I'll
give
check
you-
my inbox.
Give me 2 seconds and I will resend it to you again, if you don't have it.
I mean, we give our scores.
Yeah, and then he did his, and then we can go through each one. Okay. Because he's gonna need to do it while he's talking.
Yusuf, I just sent the conflict and the ratings to you again.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
No, where did it go? Did you get it, Yusuf?
I did.
Okay. Did everybody get a chance to review all of the proposals? Did everybody get a chance to review all of the proposals?
Sorry, Doreen. Yeah, we have. Yusuf, whenever you have your score sheet and you're ready to go through, we could go through them, every contractor together, or if you want to score them and then let us know who your high score was, we could do it that way, whatever's easiest for you. Dre, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure.
All right, Doretta, I just finished my conflict of interest disclosure form. I'm gonna email that to you. And then to answer your question, yeah, I think I'm just in a position where I have reviewed the proposals.
Okay.
If it's okay with you, I'll just use the score sheet. Do you need copies of my score sheets?
I would,
Uh,
but I don't have to have them, right away.
Okay, is that something I could get to you like by the end of the day or end of the
Yes,
week?
absolutely.
We
Okay,
just
great.
Yeah, we just need to put them in our notes, so we have
Okay.
one file with all the everybody's notes and score sheets.
Okay, great.
So, which company you want to start with?
Alan, I'll let you lead this.
Yusuf, do you have anyone particular one you want to start with?
Not in particular. I mean, I feel like I feel like maybe it makes sense to start with. It seems like there was one group that already had a contract with the city. Maybe we start with them and then work our way through the other ones. I think that was that Michael's Tree Loader Service?
Correct, MTL. So, specialized experience, I gave them a 5 on our score sheet. And innovative solutions, we gave them a 4, and we could discuss this stuff too if I just don't know how we want to go about it. So I can just go down the list. Proximity to the city, we gave them a 3. They are out of Memphis, Tennessee, but they do have a St. Louis location, satellite location, so we gave them a 3 there. Fees for service, it seemed like they filled out the form and gave us one price per section of trees that we asked for. From 0 to 10 inch, they gave us one price. Financial and operating resources, looks like I gave them excellent. They have the finances to do the jobs and resources. Women-owned, minority-owned business, we gave them a 3. They are not women or minority-owned, but they do work in their proposal. They said they do work with women and minority contractors. And then ordinance requirements, we gave them a 5. And then on the last one there, evaluation criteria, we put down working history with working with the city, with contracts with the city. So that was one of the criteria we placed there, and we gave them a 5. Any other criterias, Yusuf, that you could think of that you would like to judge these?
Well, not necessarily another criteria, but just a question about their satellite location. You said that, obviously they're based in Memphis, but where are they in the city? Do you know where they're?
Right now they're working out of the Forest Park yard, and they're looking for another property. Or did they have Arnold on there? Were they?
I'll find out. Yep. No, Arnold Road, Memphis, Tennessee.
Arnold Road, Memphis, Tennessee. So, yeah, right now they're just working out of our yard, but they are in the process of looking for another location. So they have their trucks parked.
Oh, okay. So like their equipment is located in St. Louis.
Correct.
Okay.
So final score Jason and I had written down was a 35 for them.
And I had the other question I had was, and this is something that kind of applies to all of these proposals. You know, I'm still new to the process of selecting proposals. How much, you know, the MBE requirement is this just something that is there a requirement, or is this just something that you know, is this just something that we're looking for in addition to them being able to provide the services we're looking for?
Yeah, I think it's one of the criterias that are in our RFP that we need to rate them on. So
yeah, and it just seems.
Go ahead.
Oh no, it just seems, you know, like I think they were the only ones that mentioned that, you know, they they do use minority and women business enterprises, I guess they subcontract out some of their work. Do we know, like, having worked with them before, do we know where those subs come from? Are those like, do they sub within St. Louis City, or do they find partners that are based in the city, or do they find partners kind of near their headquarters and then send them out to St. Louis? I'm just curious how that works.
I can't answer that one.
I think it's also my understanding that it's not a requirement to participate in that, but it is a bonus for the city.
Okay.
We would have to do further
Yeah.
investigation if we wanted to dig deeper on that one, on, you know, what the services are.
Okay.
And I don't remember reading anything in the RFP about it. Okay.
Okay. No, that's all. I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
Okay.
So thanks for clarifying.
The you want to go Davy Tree Service?
Sure.
Yeah, and these folks were, looks like they're in St. Louis, but the city hasn't worked with them in the past.
We don't have a contract with them. I've never worked with them with a contract. I've worked with them on like a SID may have a contract with them. I know they work in Forest Park, so we've worked with them, contracted out through Forest Park forever. So we're associated with them, but I don't remember if oh yeah, we did do an inventory. Thank you. We did do a tree inventory. We do have them under contract for a tree inventory.
Yeah, looking at their proposal, the only thing that gave me pause was was the average cost for removal. Seemed like it had a lot of variability, which I think I can understand. You know, you never, like, every job is different, but you know, the other service providers seem to have a pretty specific price. What did you guys think about? Is that common for there to be this big of a range?
Yeah, that we marked mark them low for the fee services. It
Okay.
would just seem pretty cumbersome to be going out there and looking at every tree and really debating.
Mhm.
Are we talking about a 6-inch tree or a 7-inch tree? Where we kind of asked for 1 to 10-inch be one price. That way, we're not arguing about every square inch. You know, we could say it's in this ballpark range here. But they gave us prices for every inch the way I read it.
Yeah.
So I marked them, I gave them a 1 on that one. But as far as specialized experience, innovation solutions, proximity to the city, all high marks, 5s.
Going back to the prices real quick too, their prices are like more than double what like Michael's Tree and Loader is. So for that reason, I think it's not worth pursuing. I think that's a heavy enough weight in this evaluation to consider.
Sure. Yeah, especially when it seems like some of these other providers did have, you know, I think lower rates. Like, you know, I don't know how much more we want to talk about Davy, but what was it, like Monster Tree Service? Felt like they kind of stood out to me as having pretty reasonable rates. I don't know if that's because they're a national I
Franchise.
think they're a national franchise, but
Yeah, I think Monster and MTL were pretty comparable in prices for sure. I think on that note, TLC was pretty similar as well. They kind of started to differ in the pruning section. TLC did.
yeah. And then just another question that's popped into my head. You know, I guess it probably matters. You know what trees are in the city's inventory? Like, do you anticipate like most of the services will need to be for larger trees, or you know, you'd mentioned like, you know, you were like, is 1 to 10 that size tree, is that mostly what we have? Because I think that would also, you know, it looks like I was noticing that they were like some of these services, like they're pretty comparable kind of in the like smaller to like medium sized trees, but then when you get to the larger ones, there seems to be a lot of variability too. I think one of the, maybe it was Arbor Masters, they had like, yeah, they were, I mean, one of these providers had like a pretty high price on like larger trees. Do we have like pretty, like what do you know what I'm getting at? Like, do we have, are we
Yeah,
going to mostly be using them for
most are going to
larger
be medium,
trees, or
most are going to be medium to large size.
Yeah.
You know, your smaller trees. We're hoping that the trees mature to a rate. We get trees all different sizes, right? But
Mhm.
what the majority we have are trees that are just at the end of their life. So they're going to be more larger, to medium to large size trees.
Okay.
Okay, of course, trees die at any age, but the larger trees are the ones that probably we spend the most time on, or we have the most of.
Yeah. So looking at prices for just some of the larger trees, I was thinking like, you know, TLC, you know, they're saying 50+ foot trees, like they take them down for $27.95. And then what was this group? Arbor Masters. They were the one. Arbor Masters was the one that kind of sent out like a sample of like, oh, these are projects that we've worked on. And kind of it seemed like the largest tree that they included in that list was almost, you know, just shy of 50 feet, and you know, they were charging about $23.68. So just makes me think like, you know, going back to monster tree removal, it seems like they have a pretty standardized price, and seems like it's the most you know, competitive price.
Yeah, I think something to consider too is what we had asked for was like a standard price or an average price for that range. And it was unclear whether or not Monster wants to still do it by hourly, and that's, they gave us
Oh, sure.
those prices would be, but it would be our strong preference to not to go out and bid every tree, instead measure the tree and have its diameter, and that is the cost of the tree.
And I don't want to slow your process down, but is that a question we can ask someone who's like, can we ask Monster if that's something that they can do, or because I agree with you, the way that their fee schedule is presented, it's I guess it's hard to know, are they going to be charging by hour, or are they going to be charging by size of the tree? But I don't know how much that slows down your process.
Well, I'm just looking at it, even if the smaller trees were cheaper, but then once you got up to 21-inch tree, they really were much more expensive than MTL.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're almost double. Well, they're not double, but they're much higher on the 1, 2, 3, the 4 larger range trees.
Right.
They're higher on. So with that criteria, I just looked at leaning toward MTL and the contractor we do have on hand. It'd be cheaper.
Yeah,
But-
and we are looking for, at the end of this, we're looking for one
I believe
vendor,
so.
right?
We have one now, and it seems to be going pretty well for us. So we're kind of looking to do one. I don't see any reason to do 2 at this point in time.
Okay. Sorry, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So
No,
if you
okay.
want to rein it back in, feel free.
Just to make sure that I'm understanding, we're only looking for one company, not 2, correct? Okay.
That's our goal. I think Arbor Masters, can we pull them out of the running and just say no, as they were asking to bid each tree?
Right.
That's not something we have the labor to do.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that, just knowing that that's a constraint.
And Davey, I think we pull them off the table too, since they were bidding basically per inch tree, and then their price jumps up rather quickly. I don't think they're as competitive.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. And then I think, to that earlier question of like, what is the tree inventory in St. Louis look like, if the concern is, most of the trees that are going to need trimming or removal are going to be larger than, kind of like you noted, looking at Michael's, they seem to have a more competitive price than something like Monster. Monster and TLC were kind of both maybe on the higher end. Yeah, like TLC, they're charging $2,795 to take down 50-foot plus trees. So if you're saying that that's going to be a budget, if there's a budget constraint to consider, it kind of seems like we should move them off the list.
Yeah, even look at like 41 to 50 inch. You got Michael 1750, and then Monster 2100 and 23, almost 2400 for TLC, and then go even farther back, like 30-inch tree, 31-inch trees, $1,300 versus $1,800.
Right.
And then TLC's right in there at $1,800 too.
Yeah, and I would like, and I don't know when and if we can ask this question, but the one thing I do also like about Michael's tree and loader services proposal is they did at least, I know you're saying that it's not a requirement for them for them to participate in the MBE and WBE but they at least have made it known that they do utilize subs when additional resources are required. And I think I would be curious to ask them who do you do you have, can they provide us with a list of subs that they typically work with in our area, just so we know who those folks are. But I think that makes their application a little more
Asking TL for a list
competitive.
who they work with that is women or minority. Yeah. No, we could ask that and get that answered. Since they put it on their proposal, let's find out who that is.
Yeah. And then obviously, it's the group it's the company that the city already is doing work with. And do you have any insight as to how that's been with that, how, have they met their contract obligations? Are they a good partner in your experience?
Yeah, so we've been working with them, I guess, as long as I've been commissioner, for 8-9 years. And any issues we've had, the owner is up here meeting us face to face. I'm always, within a phone call away. Our contract compliance officer meets with them almost on a daily basis. So if anything, if we need corrective action, they do take it rather quickly. And we haven't had, just a few issues here and there with them, but for the most part, they've been a good partner for us and a good responsive contractor.
I think that would. Oh, go ahead.
Very few incidents or issues with them, and if we do, we bring it to their attention, and they do take corrective action.
Yeah, and it seems like, I'm not familiar with the ins and outs of tree removal, but it does seem like, with as many storms as we get, it's nice to have someone that's close by that can respond quickly to emergency tree removal or, things like that. I think that gives me some pause about some of the other proposals, not knowing kind of where they are, how they would deploy resources to the city kind of gives me, makes me concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to know that they at least have equipment here in the area. Yes.
And they have, and they can get more equipment up here and within the hours time, Do you have any other comments, or do we want to try to vote on a contractor, or do we want to get that question answered before we vote? Yusuf, you still with us?
It's showing he's still in the meeting, but I don't know if he lost connection or what, so we'll give him a minute. Yusuf?
Sorry about that. I lost my internet connection, but I am back.
Okay,
Can you hear me now?
we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Awesome, thank you. I guess I'm just looking for some advice from the committee here on how we want to move forward with this.
Oh, so Alan was asking Yusuf, which you might have missed, if you all wanted to go ahead and take a vote or get an answer to the question first and then vote.
I know you asked about the women and minority-owned businesses, if we could get a list of companies they work for. Would you rather have that list in front of you before we voted? Or even if they produce nothing, the other companies really haven't produced anything either. Or they all say no, so it would just.
Right.
And with them.
No, I'm in line with that thinking. I think, it's information that I think would be nice to know, but I think against all the other proposals, they're the only ones that make mention of it. So I don't think it would necessarily change that much about the decision for me. It's just some information that I think would be helpful to have.
No, I agree. And we will get that information and then send it to the entire committee. Not just you, but everybody on the committee. So if we scored Michael's Tree and Loader as our highest, and forestry, I guess I propose that we go with Michael's Tree and Loader again. If somebody wants to make a motion for that, or we can discuss it further, we can.
Yeah. I motion to accept MTL as the winner of this contract.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
Okay. That sounds good. And we will get that information and send it off to everybody on the committee. Any other comments?
No, I just wanted to make sure, Doretta, did you get the email I sent over with the signed disclosure form?
Yeah, I guess we should check that before we voted.
I have it.
And you have mine
Yes, I have.
of interest? Okay, great.
I apologize. I saw it pop up behind my screen when we were talking, so I knew it was there, but I didn't hear you ask, but I do have it. I just printed it.
No, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Doretta, we're gonna give Yolanda all our notes, and then she will give them to you so that we have them all in one file. And then Yusuf, if you don't mind sending in your
Yes.
notes or anything pertaining to this RFP, so we can keep it all in one spot.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Unshinable purposes. Okay.
Any other issue that we need to discuss or cover?
Just 1 second.
Yeah, one moment.
Okay.
Okay, we're just going over, Doretta. We'll work with you on notifying the contractor of the winning bid here, and then also sending out the letters to notifying the other ones that they did not win the bid. So
Okay, that's no
I
problem.
think that's all we have. Doretta, you have anything else?
No.
Yusuf, you have anything? Jason?
I do not.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you all for joining, and hopefully Yusuf will see you soon.